Destiny was on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan wanted to talk about the rhetoric being more and more inflammatory. His go-to example was Joe Biden saying, what was it, bullseye or some shit, because that was a few days before the shooting happened. Destiny wanted to talk about things that have happened from the Trump side that have very much generated the climate that his shooting took place in. So it's, you know, this was a whataboutery or something, but I think Destiny was 100% right. Every response video I've seen so far, it's just like insults. It's just taking like clips and shitting on him based on that. Basically doing the same thing Piers Morgan was doing, just virtue signaling like, oh, you're saying something so mean, oh no. As if that's not where we've been for a long time now. So yeah, let's see, we have, what do we have? Let's get to it. This person is called Warren Smith Secret Scholar Society, the debate that finally finished Destiny. Let's see what he's all about. Let's go.
Destiny knows that he is visibly shaking. You can see it. Look at the chair. It shows vibrations. Look at his arms. This shows that beneath his rationalization, his subconscious knows that something is off. You can feel it in your words.
Does that always mean that? I'm not sure about that. Maybe he just can't sit still. Maybe he's full of adrenaline. I mean, he's on Piers Morgan. This is a big moment, and he's, you know, very much under attack. So I don't know. This is reading too much into it, I think.
When you're not on firm footing. When I heard that there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, I was in the car with my mom, who is someone who deeply loathes Trump. I was able to hook up my phone and go to a YouTube live stream. We saw the visuals, and her response was deeply human. It was shock and sadness. I was looking at the responses of people online.
The dude, the firefighter guy, Trump, the people that support him. I just want you to know.
I should have done like a bingo card. Okay, we've got excessive psychoanalyzing, or body language analyzing, should I say, which is quite often complete cringe, bullshit, hokey shit. Obvious clip. No context to it. Who knows what they've actually seen other than that clip.
You know, getting blown away or whatever the fuck. I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am.
The strategy that Destiny implements, it's highly effective because he will take an acorn of truth. In this case, in recent days, he's been using January 6th.
Very good question.
Do you think January 6th, do you think J6 was a false flag?
I think January 6th, there's a lot of discussions to be had. I think there's a lot of facts that came forward. They're definitely...
I will never give sympathy to the side. These guys are destroying the country.
What Piers does to counteract that is he acknowledges...
He moralizes.
...is that there were great mistakes made on January 6th.
It should never have happened.
Yeah, he does. What about those two? What about tons of other conservatives? This is the bigger point.
Everyone involved in any violence that day was utterly shameful. Donald Trump's rhetoric that day.
Who cares if Piers Morgan denounces something? Piers Morgan wants to denounce every single thing fucking ever because it's Piers Morgan. He's like the soyest fucking motherfucker going.
It was appalling. All those things are completely true, Destiny.
You're building your argument upon that foundation. Okay, but are you saying that an assassination on a former president and a leading candidate of one of the two parties, is that not also an attack on democracy?
Well, it isn't, in a way. I mean, first off, he hasn't said that he doesn't think so. He hasn't said that he thinks this was a good thing. But I mean, when an attack on a president, well, a presidential candidate, comes after said candidate, last time there was an election, tried to steal the election, then it's it becomes a bit more of a grey than a black or white issue.
You are so determined to protect the integrity of democracy, you would find it absolutely outrageous that someone has tried to assassinate a president, right?
Piers does not let...
That's the problem. That's the whole problem. What was Trump doing to fucking preserve democracy after the second election? And now he's running again. Like, is no one connecting these dots thinking this is kind of crazy? Like, does no one seem to know what's been going on? It's insane.
Let him get away from the question. Destiny is very good at this. He's very elusive, and he tries to pivot. Piers...
Elusive? God, I don't know about this, but sure.
Brings him back.
I'm not going to get on my knees and
Piers Morgan tries to railroad him down a specific conversation and doesn't want to have any more of a conversation. He doesn't want the conversation to progress because he's so desperate for everyone else to virtue signal like he does, seemingly. That's all I can make of it. It's crazy.
Beg for forgiveness or show sympathy to conservatives.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking you to condemn what happened as an egregious.
Oh, Destiny, please condemn what happened. Please, Destiny. No, please disavow it, Destiny. I've disavowed it. I'll disavow anything you want me to. I'll disavow my own parents.
Attack on democracy. Can you do that?
No, I won't. No, I won't.
You can't do that.
Then you compound.
Well, you know, like I've said, it's more complicated than it being an attack on democracy. And that was the annoying thing, was like Piers Morgan wanted to talk about like the rhetoric and like the increase of temperature, but would only do so through very specific examples that were completely stupid. And Destiny wants to talk about other examples from Trump himself, suggesting that he's contributed to his own assassination attempt, basically, which is correct. I agree with that. And Piers Morgan doesn't want to have that conversation. He wants to stick to his really stupid arguments.
Losing logical credibility with just the morality of what he's saying.
Do you not understand that to most decent Americans and to decent people around the world, that is incredibly offensive and makes you look like a two-faced.
I also hate these fucking arguments. You know who else does this? Fucking TRAs. The amount of times that I get told, well, most people think this, so maybe you should think that's why. Maybe you should think why that is, why you just seem to disagree with everyone. Fucking more people voted for Brexit than didn't. How many people voted for Trump? Like 18 million or something, Piers Morgan said. I disagree with all those people too. Most people would think this isn't a very decent thing. Well, okay, great. Like, I don't know. I'd disavow the whole thing, but I'd still have a lot more questions, and I'd still want to have much more of a discussion than Piers Morgan allows. It's almost like he's holding the debate hostage behind this virtue signal, you know?
Faced hypocrite.
Piers structures this highly effectively.
Do you condemn the shooter shooting Donald Trump?
No. Not here, not on this program, not in front of these people.
Which neutralizes it.
Well, I mean, I think Destiny refusing to do what Piers Morgan asked him to is the only way you can keep any kind of agency in this conversation. You have to remember something. Like, I've watched a decent amount of these Piers Morgan videos by now. He does control the conversation an awful lot. Like, it's his show, it's his right to do so. It's not that I'm saying this is a fault. I'm just saying that's what he does. So this is just how it always is. And if he wants it to be a certain kind of conversation, he will make that conversation happen. My issue is with the kind of conversation he's trying to force, and no one seems to be picking up on that.
I can see despicable behavior on all sides, and I'm happy to call it out when I see it. You, however, want to present yourself as this great kind of standard bearer of decency who sees outrageous behavior on the right time and again and is incensed by this disgusting...
Is that what... This is the thing, he puts so much shit on people, you know what I mean? Like, you see yourself as this standard bearer. I don't remember him saying that or anything. I think he's pointing at a double standard.
Humane behavior. And yet time and again, since the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you have displayed exactly...
It's just like ad homs, like... This is good. This is like good arguing, is it? Okay, I guess.
Exactly the same kind of inhumane behavior.
What Destiny does is he takes an acorn of truth. There's something true. He takes that acorn, plants it in the ground, and waters it with this fertilizer of hate.
Hate. All right, this is fucking soy as well. I actually want to see what kind of channel this is. I don't know anything about this person. I saw this yesterday and I saved it to watch later. This is the whole extent. Let's have a look. Debate bros and Elden Ring at the same time. Something about J.K. Rowling. I don't know if this is a gender critical kind of thing. Matt Walsh. I've got no idea what he thinks of that though. I can't quite tell, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. He's not obviously an ideologue in one way or another, which is fair enough. That's a good thing. But this is like soy as fuck so far.
And the ability to speak quickly with...
Oh, the ability to speak quickly. There's another one. Like, I can speak quite quickly too. I have that habit because I used to work on the phone, like as a letting agent, like trying to get people's like stuff fixed for them. They're often very stressed and they're often kind of going on at me an awful lot. So I have to like my questions have to be short and to the point, and I have to speak quickly if I'm gonna like get a sentence out most of the time. So that's just how I'm used to talking. So, you know, I'm sure that applies to me too, right? You know, I'm able to speak fast. So, you know, he has to speak fast in this debate anyway, because the amount he gets cut off, yes, he cuts other people off, but I don't know. Everyone's just watched the clips, it seems like.
Blind conviction. And when you take an acorn of...
Blind conviction. He's read the fucking indictments. Blind conviction. Like, this is just, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. He's wrong, guys. He's wrong. Guys. Destiny's wrong. So, also Destiny's wrong. And, Destiny's wrong. I've got loads of books behind me. I had to read every single one of these books so that I can sit here in front of my 112,000 subscribers and tell you that Destiny is wrong. Good job. Nice Rolex if that's what that is. Good job, guy.
Truth with fertilizer of hate. That's a potent mixture. We've seen this throughout history that causes that acorn to just grow into a tree. It's similar to how the best lies are partially true. They have to be effective lies built around.
So he's not even lying then? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand.
Kernel of truth. But you can never lose sight of that kernel and allow that.
I can't tell if this guy looks a bit like white Rishi Sunak. Like a little bit. It's more the head shape than anything though, I think.
To make you feel justified in where that argument can take you. It's a foolish game to play. This is what hate does. It turns you into the very thing that you think you are fighting.
You yourself actually are exactly the person that you're describing. You are inhuman. You are somebody who seems almost gleeful that a young firefighter with a family, with a wife and children, who he was protecting as he was shot dead, that he deserved what was coming to him because he went to a President Trump rally.
Part of me is glad that he is foolish enough to say...
Isn't the point that Trump kind of created the conditions for his would-be assassination? How much of the blame lies on Trump that a guy got killed? Considering we're all talking about how inflammatory the rhetoric has gotten, considering we're all talking about how radicalized everyone has gotten, and we're not gonna say, well, you know, what's Trump's role in all that? That's what he's trying to say. Like, we can fucking cry about Joe Biden. I bet this isn't going to show any of the clips where Piers Morgan attempts to justify that this guy could have been radicalized by fucking Joe Biden saying bullseye. Like, is he going to bring that up? Because there was more to this conversation than Piers Morgan directly asking Destiny to condemn the shooting. There's more to this conversation than Piers Morgan fucking soy ranting at Destiny, you know?
These things so that the world can see that this is real. Two of my mom's best friends came the following day and they wanted to go out to dinner, and they took me out to dinner for my birthday. They said something interesting. They were sitting in the back seat and they said, yes, we heard the news about Donald Trump at this rally, but then we saw the headlines and they weren't the headlines we were hoping for. And I just looked at my mom. They didn't say anything. I just looked at her kind of like, you see what I mean? And she looked down, and in that moment I could tell that she was, because these are her very good friends. They're not evil people. They're not stupid people, which is what's so concerning about this. In that moment I was thinking there are going to be many out there who do wish that bullet had been an inch to the right. Many of them will not.
Yeah, of course. There's going to be people that wished it hit him for the same reason that someone got up there and shot at him, because there's a lot of people out there that think that Trump is a fucking terrible person, a traitor to his own country, who wouldn't accept the last democratic election. So that's why I say there's a bit of grey area when you're saying, aren't you anti-democracy if you supported the shooting against Trump? I don't even support the shooting against Trump personally. I can just see why it happened, and so can Destiny, and Piers cannot, because he doesn't want to engage. He's too offended. He doesn't want to think about why he's offended, and he doesn't want to open the fucking Pandora's box more than he himself wants to talk about Joe Biden, you know?
Say that out loud. There are going to be many feeling that right now. How can decent people get to the point where they believe that murder is the answer? So where do you think that will lead to? If you were that concerned about January 6th Destiny.
The answer is to stop fucking elevating your most insane fucking people into positions of power, into presidential races, but we're long beyond that point now, aren't we? How long's it been? Like 8 years plus? Like, Jesus, it's already like long overcooked, and it's like, well, at least people are still wringing their hands, literally in this case, about people being murdered. There's going to be more of them, unfortunately. That's just how it is. How many people died on January 6th? It was like at least 8, I think. 4 police, by the way, killed themselves in the aftermath. Do you think he'll mention that woman on the right there? Well, we don't even see her. You see her at the end there. That woman on the right there, talking about how the rioters at Jan 6 just fucking walked in, the police just escorted them in. Because that didn't happen. That's not at all how it went, you know?
Imagine what would occur next. They've seen him, people try and put him in prison, try and bankrupt him, try and impeach him. Then to see him shot, regardless of whether you agree with that or disagree with it, that is how many people are going to view this, because we've been playing a stupid game, an unwise game.
But they've done this for 8 years.
Right, so the other side is horrendous, therefore I'm going to be even more horrendous.
Imagine being
even more horrendous. Like, really? Are you serious with that shit? Like, fuck me. The amount of gratuitous hate that comes out of the right for so many different kinds of people, and not all the right, granted. There's plenty of people on the right that are actually sensible people. Just like there's plenty of people on the left that are actually sensible people and not complete freaks in their own right. But to say that someone's being even worse, like for not condemning a shooting, for saying fuck him, like, yeah, it's rude, but like, Jesus Christ. Piers is offended. He wants his offense to give him power, which is bizarre because he's known for like ranting about like snowflakes and stuff like that. He's known for ranting about like woke stuff. But when it comes to it, he's like just as soy as anyone else.
on the Titanic, missing the iceberg by an inch, coming to the conclusion, there's still icebergs out there. We narrowly missed this one. Rather than learning from your mistakes, you say full steam ahead. We weren't going fast enough. Stoke the fires even more. What could go wrong?
If you'd have the same attitude if it was your parents who'd been killed at a Trump rally, and you replied, it's less end-of-life costs for me, would I lose sleep over it? No. Do you understand how grotesque that sounds?
It sounds grotesque, but the environment that we're in right now is grotesque.
My family who are concerned about me even talking about anything relating to Trump or this topic, there's nothing to be afraid of. And this is not a political discussion. This is not a political debate. It's a debate on morality. And so Destiny's coming at it from a political angle. Piers is coming at it trying to show the hypocrisy.
The conservatives don't have it in them to...
Piers is trying to show the hypocrisy. Well, they both are, aren't they? They're both showing a hypocrisy. And I mean, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Have that level of decency.
So why don't you rise to a higher bar?
Think about the logic you are presenting here. What is the next step from here? If we were to suddenly follow your logic, if you were to suddenly convince half the country to listen to what you're saying, what would occur? And going back to Stephen Fry in last week's video, when he speaks about resist this, fight against this hatred, this idea that you should be alienated. Perhaps it's a mother who cares deeply about the flow of drugs across the border. Perhaps she lost a child to drugs. Perhaps it's a farmer who is struggling to put food on the table and does not know what to do given government regulations in their state. Everyone has the right to care about what is most meaningful to them. That does not warrant this kind of divide and hatred.
That's the asymmetry.
It's a little too late for that, my dude. I'm sorry.
When you talk about it's just politics, this is the cancerous brain rot that conservatives have fooled everybody into thinking.
It's the behavior of somebody who's completely lost his moral compass and any sense of decency.
What is the next step when we can no longer negotiate, when we can no longer reason with one another? I hope that my family who are worried about me even discussing something like this can understand why I think it is still worth having this conversation and making this video.
This is saying nothing. I'm going to the next one. I had another one. What the hell? There it is. I don't know. I'm watching these because surely there's an actual decent criticism of Destiny in here somewhere, and there isn't so far. Like, that was pretty dog shit. I don't know what his other videos are like. Maybe he's quite smart normally, but yeah, I ain't seeing it in that one, I'm afraid. This next one is, we're just gonna speed it up. I'm not going to be on here super long unless I decide to start reading stuff on here, which, like, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so this is another one. This is curlyboychuck. I'm pretty sure he is a right-wing LGBT person. I think I may have seen him do some, like, sort of LGBT community skeptic type stuff, which I feel very much is the same kind of thing I do most of the time. This isn't really my normal shit. Unhinged streamer just said, F the man who was shot, he liked Trump. What I'm guessing we're going to get is another emotional reaction because that's what everyone's done so far. Even people more on the left, like we watched Leon Lush yesterday, his video was still pretty dog shit. So let's see. This is the last one I'm going to do because I've watched like 6 videos now. I think I've made my point. And, you know, I would hope that people would have a bit more. Like, I don't really know what points people have except I'm offended. And I don't care if people are offended, I'm sorry. People complain constantly about how offended trans people are all the time. Well, what about when you're faced with someone who's trans but not offended, you know? What about when someone wants to have an actual discussion, suddenly everyone shuts the fuck up? And that's my problem with Piers Morgan. Like, he complains about the woke shit and the snowflakes and all that. Well, he used to. I don't know if he still does. But, like, he's one of the worst ones for it. Like, when it comes to moral fagging, he's the first one to, like, get down on his knees and beg for forgiveness for something he didn't do, you know? So, yeah, let's see. I think it's just going to be more of the same, but we're going to see the same clips, emotional reactions, complete failure to understand why Jan 6th is being brought up, complete failure to understand that there might have been self-created reasons for Trump's assassination attempt.
Fuck it, fuck the dude, the firefighter guy, fuck Trump, fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay? Just in case you're confused.
Well, that's a clip, chimp.
If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away, whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am 100.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get on my knees and
I'm pretty sure his point is because you're voting for someone who last time tried to flip the table of democracy, you know?
Beg for forgiveness.
I'm asking you to condemn what happened as an egregious attack on democracy. Can you do that?
No, I won't. No, I won't.
You can't do that.
I would say that if they go to a rally like this and they support an insurrectionist president, something happens to them, you learn that if you mess around.
Yeah, there we go. He said it.
And if you do dumb stuff, that there are going to be consequences.
Do you condemn the shooter shooting Donald Trump?
No. Not here, not on this.
I mean, what he said about there's going to be consequences, is that not what people have been saying to Trump voters for the whole time he's been a fucking candidate? Every single time, should I say? Like, if you're going to support someone like that, someone who says all this crazy shit, someone who'll lead an insurrection attempt against the country, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. Is that not kind of true? I mean, you can argue that shouldn't extend to being killed because someone was trying to kill Trump. But at the same time, what was I saying? Fuck. I have the worst memory. Yeah, isn't that kind of true? Haven't people been saying that for ages? Isn't this just the latest, the most escalated version of it yet? Because things have escalated further than they ever have. What with someone trying to kill him,
Sorry, I'm not in front of these people. Absolutely.
You do not condemn a deranged shooter.
These people?
Bruv, I'm never condemning anything in front of this fucking idiot or that fucking idiot that's off screen right now. I'm not, I've actually watched the whole thing. I don't know, no one's given any indication that I've watched so far that they actually watched the whole conversation. Let's ignore the bit at the start. Let's ignore the bullshit with Cenk. But after that, there's more to discuss, and it's the same clips over and over. I don't know that anyone's actually watched the whole thing. Here's the thing, you know what? I will respect anyone's, critique, even if I don't think it's very good. If they can, successfully steelman Destiny's argument and say, well, here's what I think he's saying, and then go on to say, here's what my issues with it are. If people did it like that, that'd be great, but so far it's either partisan shit or just people being offended.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to a brand new video. I don't even know how to start this video, to be honest. I mean, if you saw that intro, you pretty much know what I'm going to be talking about today and why I'm not happy. So I've been seeing this clip go around for quite some time.
I've been seeing this clip go around.
Time now of a Piers Morgan segment where he is having a discussion with Dave Rubin, someone I like and respect a lot, and also some grungy kid named Destiny who looks like he crawled out of his mommy's basement.
Getting the ad homs out of the way straight away, just so we know how we feel about this guy who you've watched clips of
while playing video games all day. Apparently this guy is a Twitch user. He does gaming online and he also does commentary politically. He's very left-leaning liberal, and they were having a discussion about what happened on Saturday.
Okay, I will say something in this person's defense right away, and I don't know that these aren't repeated, but it does look like there's at least decently more of the conversation here than there has been in the other ones, but we'll see. Maybe there's just, the clip version on Twitter, sorry, not Twitch, or X or whatever, is 5 minutes long or something, and the actual conversation was a good half an hour, if not longer. It makes a hell of a lot more sense why Destiny would say, I don't want to condemn that in front of those two people if you've watched the whole thing. But let's see. Let's see if he has. Maybe he has. He's just said about the clips. That seems very revealing to me, but let's see.
when Donald Trump was shot at, and sadly, a man lost his life, shielding and protecting his family. And this piece of trash, which is what he is, had the nerve to say that he didn't care. Who cares? Whatever. Now, I haven't watched the clip in full, so this is my first time reacting to that specific
Why does he have to care?
segment when Piers Morgan was talking to this kid. So I'm gonna watch it with you guys for the first time. I may lose my mind. I'm gonna try to remain cool and stay level-headed because I don't want to be, you know, acting crazy, but sometimes the Bronx wants to come out of me, and I gotta tame it. I gotta say, Bronx? No. We live in the South now. Stop it. So let's watch this clip together. Let's be triggered together, discuss, and analyze. Without further ado, roll it.
Let me bring in Destiny, because you've been at the center, as you know, of a massive online response to what you were saying. And I want to go through what you said, and I want to talk to you about this hopefully in a calm manner to try and understand what you were thinking. So on Saturday evening, hours after the shooting, you said, let me clarify, when I say conflicted, what I mean is I lean towards seeing it as a natural extension of the thing Trump and the MAGA kids support. So I don't think I have much sympathy about the attempt enough to chastise people celebrating it.
Unbelievable.
You couldn't find it in your heart to chastise people for celebrating the near assassination of a man who was president of the United States and maybe again?
Absolutely not. Conservatives have completely bled that well dry. And the idea that they, after engaging in the most divisive and most extreme rhetoric that this country has seen in recent history, that they would come on and beg for sympathy, that it's escalated into some kind of violent confrontation.
Who's begging?
Absolutely insane. Even the idea right now of saying, well, if you call somebody a Nazi for so long, it's, you know, what do you expect people to do? I grew up listening to Rush Limbaugh call Obama a communist every single day he was on the radio. You've got conservatives that talk about how the mRNA vaccines were ways to sneak microchips into us. You've got COVID lockdowns that were done because the government's trying to take all your freedom away. They won't acknowledge anything that happened on January 6th. They say that the election was stolen and that your country is being taken from you. Like, I don't think anybody should be killed. I don't think anybody should go out and kill anybody. But when you engage in this type of rhetoric and when you turn the temperature up over and over and over and over again, there is absolutely no room for you to be shocked or surprised. And certainly isn't room for you to ask for sympathy.
You say you don't want anybody killed, and yet you say, I don't think I have much sympathy about the attempt to chastise people celebrating it. It's people celebrating the near assassination of Donald Trump. If you can't find it in you to chastise people who do that, aren't you just as despicable as the people that you've just...
No, you're not just as despicable if you won't chastise the same person that fucking Piers Morgan will. Piers Morgan, in as much as Destiny is not an arbitrator of what is moral and what is not, Piers Morgan also is not an arbitrator of what is wrong and what is not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Piers.
No, because
all he's doing so far is like, oh, he's such a bad guy. He listed like 4 of his points there. He didn't have a word to say almost. It was like, who's doing something? Like, is that it? Is that the best you've got? This is like, what, we're getting on for a quarter of the way through this video. I thought there'd be a little more than this.
They've led the way. This is the environment that they've created.
Oh my God. What a nut job.
He's right. This is the environment that they've created. He's talking about like the increasingly inflammatory rhetoric. He's correct about that. Like, undisputedly, has it not got worse and worse and worse and worse, if that's how you see it, under Trump? Has the rhetoric not got more and more divisive? Have people not become more and more divided? Like, you can say that, yeah, people have moved like more left, but people have moved far more extreme in the right too, under Trump. You know, like, what's an average conservative now is completely different to what was like an average conservative back in, say, the Bush days. Like, it's changed so much. And to say what a moron when he's pointing that out, to me, Trump created the fucking environment that his assassination attempt could happen in. Where's the blame for that? But then this guy is probably a partisan, so we're not going to get that. So hey,
correct course of action.
What about behaving like the people who are despicable would be leading that type of rhetoric? It would be denying every single bad thing. How many times as a liberal? How many times as a liberal have you been on a show? Not you in general, but like a liberal been on a show and you've been forced to disavow all of the BLM riots, disavow all of the violence, and blah blah blah. And then you talk to conservatives about January 6th. That's good. Yeah. January 6th. Oh, like conservatives disavow January 6th.
These two people, they have no reason to be here. It should have been a one-on-one. These two, they just pile on now and then to say absolutely nothing. They are a pair of blow-up dolls. I don't know anything about this person, but I'm sure she says something about, you know, police letting the Jan 6th rioters just stroll into the Capitol, which is bullshit. Dave Rubin, I don't know that there's a brain anywhere in there. They don't need to be here. This is just stacking the deck so we can control the conversation even more. I thought Cenk was maybe going to be on his side, but Cenk was just there for this one bit, shouting at Piers about literally nothing, so hey. Anyway.
Wait. First off, there's an entire cultural machine that has lied. There's an entire cultural...
in real time. That's it.
What?
That's why conservatives deserve absolutely zero sympathy for anything that happens as a result of their rhetoric. That's it. It's so easy. Like
Crazy. Crazy.
Talking about, but
Crazy. What's crazy? All he does is like, oh, that's dumb. No, that's dumb. Maybe what I'll do, I won't pause anymore unless he talks. And everything he talks, I'll just say that's dumb, because that's all he's doing so far. We are a quarter of the way into the video now. Like, this is terrible. Like, does no one have any criticism? You'd think someone like Destiny would not be that hard to, like, criticize. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is this difficult for people? Is it because you're brain fucked and you sincerely think that Trump hasn't had a hand in the fucking rhetoric that's built up, that he hasn't had a hand in, like, the temperature rising so much that something like this would happen? I think it's fucking obvious.
I would say this is the type of person that the internet has broke their brain.
Yes, 1000%.
For their co-human. I mean, a good, decent father is now dead because of this.
I honestly am tempted to stop watching this altogether, because that's all he's doing. Yes, I agree with that. No, I don't agree with that. Yes, I agree with that. No, I don't agree with that. Is this like... Is this how reaction content is supposed to be? Sorry, my bad. I thought I was meant to give like my opinions on stuff and like actually provide an insight into my thought process, you know? But no, I should just be sat there like, no, that's dumb. No, that guy's crazy. Yeah, that's true. This is partisan hackery at its best. At its worst, should I say.
He's had his brains blown out because he was defending his wife and daughter. I would hope that you have a little empathy for that.
Let me jump in there, because we have a clip of what Destiny has said about that very thing. Let's listen to this.
fuck it, fuck the dude, the firefighter guy, fuck Trump, fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away, whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am 100%.
I mean,
what a freaking nut job. Like, what a freaking nut job to even make that comment. If one of you are my followers and you happen to be conservative and you get shot at a rally, I'm making fun of you? Like, are you nuts?
Because they're supporting an insurrectionist who clearly is not very pro-democracy and who for some reason has gaslighted your stupid fucking country into letting him run for president again. How is that not insane? Why is not one person tackled the idea that it's crazy that this guy's allowed to run again? Like really? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to fucking say.
Not to mention the fact that he's pretty much saying, I don't give an F about the man who died shielding his family. An innocent bystander who was just there in the crowd getting shot in the head. And
maybe I should go as far as to say that it's more Trump's fault than anyone else except the shooter that fireman got killed. I don't know. I'll think about that. Maybe I would make that statement. I don't know, but I'm thinking it.
Killed, shielding his family, and you have no sympathy or empathy for that person because of your hatred for Donald Trump and because of January 6th. What the hell does January 6th have to do with an innocent man being shot and killed by an assassin last week? Please tell me. These people are nuts. And let me tell you something. There has been so many videos that I've come across online. I think I just did a video actually highlighting some of the craziest people on the left who were literally upset because Donald Trump wasn't killed on national.
I'm going to be honest. Based on what I've seen so far, I would not give a fuck what this person thinks of leftists. Because if he's this partisan, then who cares? Like, you might be able to correctly identify a whole bunch of problems on the left, but you're probably doing half the same shit yourself. The amount of people in thought cults that will point out other thought cults, sometimes correctly, but can't acknowledge that they do the same shit, is bizarre. I don't understand how people can have this little self-awareness, and it seems to be getting worse. It's like we're being taught not to have self-awareness, or maybe people who are capable of self-awareness are not having children. I don't know what it is.
No television. And I guarantee you this loser, this kid right here living in his mommy's basement is probably one of those people as well who was upset that Donald Trump wasn't killed on national television. If
his mommy's basement. What?
The roles were reversed and Joe Biden was on a stage giving a speech and he was shot at, I would feel the exact same way. Disgusted. Disgusted that some idiot decided to try and take matters into his own hands and ended up killing innocent people and shot at a president. Political violence should not be the answer, ever. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. And if you are sitting here telling me that you cannot condemn...
Wait.
Disgusted that some idiot decided to try and take matters into his own hands and ended up killing innocent people and shot at a president. Political violence should not be the answer, ever. I don't care.
Political violence should not be the answer ever. What does this guy think of Jan 6th?
So Jacob Chansley got 4 years for supposedly breaking into the Capitol on January 6th. But take a look at what actually happened and who were his tour guides.
For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down.
This is why the liberal media cannot be trusted.
Okay, so it's fine as long as I can make it not seem like political violence, I guess. Yes, I'm watching my own video. There's a reason for that. I'm going to mute it. We don't need to listen to my annoying voice twice over, don't worry. But like, was this a liberal media lie? That man punching a window, was that a liberal media lie? Is this political violence or not? There you go, look at that. Is that political violence or is it not political violence? Which is it, curlyboychuck? Which one is it? Because it seems like you're happy to play defense when it's your side. And then whenever it's the other side, you go full attack mode. But you have almost fuck all to say. You're just offended. Another person who is just fucking offended. That's all you are. Everyone is just saying the same shit. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or you're on the right. The thing that these people have in common is that they're fucking offended by what Destiny had to say. We're almost done. We're almost done. There we go. Is this political violence? Is this political violence? You just smashed that window there in this door. Why don't you think for yourself on this one? Because this is what this fucking man is saying.
Biden was on a stage giving a speech and he was shot at. I would feel the nuts. And let me tell you something. There has been we're literally upset because Donald Trump wasn't killed on national television. And I guarantee you this loser, this kid right here living in his mommy's basement is probably one of those people as well who was upset that Donald Trump wasn't killed on national television. If the roles were reversed and Joe Biden was on a stage giving a speech and he was shot at, I would feel the exact same way. Disgusted. Disgusted that some idiot decided to try and take matters into his own hands and ended up killing innocent people and shot at a president. Political violence should not be the answer ever. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. And if you are sitting...
Political violence should never be the answer. Meanwhile, he made videos playing defense for January 6th. Oh, the liberal media is like lying to you. This guy was just let in and was like walked around. What about all the other fucking people? How many people were in the Capitol? Jacob Chansley being like one of them, you know? Like this is beyond like cult brain shit. This is insane. None of these people have a fucking point. Either they're just offended as fuck or they're a fucking rightoid cultist. That's all there is to it.
Here telling me that you cannot condemn an act of violence in front of our faces because of your distaste and your anger towards conservatives, then you need to have your head checked. You need a visit by the Secret Service because you clearly are an insane person. Unfreaking believable. What a troll. What a freaking troll. Not to mention the fact that he has a very punchable face. Let's keep watching.
I've got to say, I just found that repulsive, Destiny.
Is saying someone has a punchable face, is that violent rhetoric or is that like not quite violent rhetoric? I'm still deciding on that. I'll think about that one.
I wish that there is no room. There is no room for the hand wringing, and I will not participate.
Oh, it's not hand wringing.
The hand wringing. No, absolutely.
It is hand wringing. It is. This guy is literally metaphorically doing that right now.
No, it's just that you are positioning yourself.
So well. When you are in a world where conservatives can say anything.
No, I'm not a
they can have any conspiracy theory. They can have any, but they can do anything, and then liberals are supposed to be like,
and so a man getting shot is okay?
Absolutely.
That makes it okay?
Conservative. I'm not on either side in your race, right? Here's what I think about what you did.
This kid is pissing me off.
Like to fire off, as you've done so far in this debate, about your fury at how disgusting Republicans are, how inhumane they are, how they never have any empathy, blah, 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 blah.
Where's yours?
You yourself actually are exactly the person that you're describing. You are inhuman. You are sick. It seems almost gleeful that a young...
You're so offended. Oh my God. That's all you have. All you have is your offense. Where was this energy fucking every time some snowflake like got offended over something Piers Morgan thinks is silly? Do you know what I mean? The guy's a hypocrite. And this person is just nodding along with everything he wants to hear. Like, it's so easy. It's so easy to just hear your own perspective fucking blasted at you, and you complain about the liberal media while your media's like filling your head with shit. I'm sorry.
Firefighter with a family, with a wife and children, who he was protecting as he was shot dead. That he deserved what was coming to him because he went to a President Trump rally, a man who was President of the United States until recently for 4 years and maybe again. You sound almost gleeful, Destin. I'm sorry. That makes you, frankly, despicable.
Yes. Tell him, Piers.
I don't think I'm gleeful about anything. I don't think anybody should die. I don't think anybody deserves to die. But you want to talk about gleeful?
But
look at the conservative response to Pelosi's husband when they broke in.
Oh, God. Give me a freaking break.
I can
answer that.
I don't care what you're answering.
You know what? I'm actually bored of this. Like, what's he going to say in the next however many bits that isn't just going to be, oh, give me a break. Oh, this guy's crazy. Yeah, you're right, Piers. Yeah, he is mean. Yeah, you're right, Piers. He is saying the mean words. He is being a meanie poop head. Yeah? What am I supposed to... Yeah, fuck this shit. That's 6 videos I've watched. They're all terrible. I would like to think that someone can fucking criticize Destiny of all people, like, intelligently. But, like, even people that fucking hate him on the left, like Vorsh, are, like, coming to bat for him because he's right. So yeah, Destiny replies, that's the last one I'm going to do because I've done 6 of these. I've been going on about this shit for like 4 days now. I very much agree with Destiny. I would never say fuck the guy who died, but myself. But, you know, I don't really give a shit that much that he did. Not that the man died. I don't really give a shit that Destiny doesn't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be offended by that, but that doesn't make you right about it.